Join the conversation on the most relevant issues affecting the workplace, as well as the human resource patterns being positioned to solve them on The Office. Get notifications on available job listings and advice on how to apply from featured experts in the industry every Thursday from 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. Only on Lagos Talks 91.3. News, information, and laughs. It's Live Drive.
You're listening to Kolawole on the Live Drive.
Okay, welcome back. You're listening to 91.3. This is Lagos Talks. It is Thursday, June 13th, 2024. So it's like the restart. Yesterday was a holiday, and then today is the restart. So we're going to just make do with the time that we have left this week as far as work is concerned. So today and tomorrow, work days, and then we have the weekend again. Okay, so I love the deal. Fair deal. Breather during the course of the week, and then we're back for a couple of days, and then we're back to the weekend again. I will take that over any other week, definitely. Okay, you're listening to 91.3. My name is Kolawole Falodun, and I'm here with you as usual. Today's Thursday, so I'm here till 9. I get to be with you on your drive time from work. For the bulk of people who are coming back from work, for some persons, they're resuming work at this time or coming from wherever they went to or going somewhere. Okay, so it's my job to keep you company during that commute. Okay, it's just a few minutes before we begin with the office. We've got a lot of things to catch up on the office, and also on the office this evening, I will be announcing at least one job vacancy. So you might want to listen during the course of the office, happening in about a few minutes up until 5. So if you're listening and you have someone who fits into that profile, it'll be a good one for you to send that info to them. So today on the office, I will be announcing at least one job opening. Okay, so stay tuned. You're listening to 91.3 Lagos Talks. How have you been so far? Well, it's been so good from my end, trusting that you've had a fantastic day with my friends and colleagues from the morning up until the afternoon. And it's time for me to be with you. Of course, much later on the show or much later in the evening, I will hand you over to Obi on the late edition. But today is quite packed up on Thursdays. Of course, if you're a regular listener of Lagos Talks, you know that we begin with the office from 4:30 up until 5. And then from 5 o'clock, critical thinking with Zeal, always a fantastic time discussing issues from a psychological perspective and, trying to awaken your thinking abilities. Your thinking cap is needed during that 5 o'clock hour up until 6. Zeal comes in on Thursdays from 5 till 6 for a show called Critical Thinking. Okay, so looking forward to the same energy today on the show between 5 and 6. 6 o'clock, the wise men of comedy step into the studio for It's Okay with Okay up until 7 when we bring you the world news. 7:30, if you've got love for your cars, you don't want to miss that time for anything, because Adisadi Enigma comes in to the studio for the Car Love Show. So if you love your cars, you've had issues with your cars, makeshift mechanics or roadside mechanics have ruined your car or have messed things up with your vehicle, the Car Love Show is all in one for all things cars. Okay, so your vehicles, your cars, it doesn't matter what kind it is. We've got mechanics who are adept when it comes to auto diagnosis and the like. So it's a fantastic show. You don't want to miss that for anything. Between 7:30 and 8 o'clock, definitely they will be on standby for that all the way till 9 most times, because the problems are overwhelming sometimes, but they take out time to answer every question as much as possible. They stretch things till 8:30, 8:45 sometimes, because of the volume of persons and friends who are trying to get help from the able mechanics on the Car Love Show. So if you love your car, today is that day where you get to speak to Adisa and his mechanics. Okay. So 9 o'clock, I hand you over to Obi on the late edition. You definitely will be having a swell time with Obi on the late edition up until it's night. Okay. This is 91.3 Lagos Talks. What is happening? Before we brace up for the office happening in about a few minutes from now, I saw something. I don't know, for whatever reason, I have been reading about oil production. Yes, I've been reading about oil production. And then it just dawned on me that, yes, there's some countries of the world that actually produce oil, because what prompted this was the publication, was it OPEC's publication about we not meeting up to 1.2 million barrels per day or something like that. So there's been a drop or a dip in our oil production output in Nigeria. So it means that we're not meeting OPEC's quota. I told you some months ago that OPEC reduced our quota. It used to be close to 1.7, 1.8 million barrels per day, meaning that if we bring 1.7, 1.8 million barrels to OPEC, they will give us the cash equivalent in FX. Okay, so that was an FX inflow into Nigeria. And for a long time, we were not meeting that quota. And the agreement is you meet the quota and you get the cash. But earlier this year, there was a downward review on that quota to perhaps enable Nigerians benefit from oil productions, you know. So they reduced it from about close to 2 million barrels per day to 1.2 thereabout million barrels per day. But unfortunately, we're getting information that we are still failing to meet that OPEC quota. Okay, so that's been on my mind for quite a while. And I just realized that nations like Saudi Arabia, yes, their population is about not even up to 50 million people, right? So just for example, for just to analyze things up and put some clarity on it, imagine you multiply Lagos by 2. Lagos by 2 is the population of Saudi Arabia, and they produce about close to 9 million barrels per day. Nations like China actually, surprisingly as well, produce a lot of crude oil. They produce about 5 million barrels per day, 5. And China is quite unassuming when it comes to oil revenue, because you think about China, and the first thing that comes to your mind is technology. But it would surprise the average Joe that China actually produces a lot of oil and makes racks of cash from oil revenue, right? America definitely right up top there when it comes to oil production, about 13 million barrels per day. Population, about over 300 million people. But what am I trying to say? Why do we keep having this issue with meeting OPEC's quota? Maybe at some point we will talk about this. Looking forward to bringing in an oil expert, oil production experts, and someone who is adept when it comes to the economics of petroleum, right? So hopefully we would have that conversation right here where the conversation always happens. Okay, you're listening to 91.3 Lagos Talks. Up next is The Office. I've got a very interesting personality coming up in a few minutes, so don't go anywhere. Up next is The Office here on Lagos Talks 91.3. And I also said to you that I will be announcing at least one job opening this evening during the course of the show. So sit back and relax. Up next, The Office on 91.3.
Acceleration and laughs. It's live drive. 18 billion people finally have a voice. This is Lagos Talks 91.3. Join the conversation on the most relevant issues affecting the workplace, as well as the human resource patterns being positioned to solve them on The Office. Get notifications on available job listings and advice on how to apply from featured experts in the industry every Thursday from 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. Only on Lagos Talks 91.3.
Dr. Emmanuel.
Information and laughs. It's live drive. 18 billion finally have a voice. This is Lagos Talks 91.3. At the heart of every news story, the perspectives and the different voices that make the headlines.
Can I don't know if we can hear, if you can hear me, Dr.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, fantastic. Welcome. Good
Yeah, I
to
can hear you clearly. So I've been enjoying the conversation for the past 5 minutes.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, that's what we do here.
That's a good one.
Yeah. All right, so good to have you join us again. We'll begin in about a minute.
No problem at all.
All right. Are you ready for a video session, or you would rather have us have an audio session?
No, I think let's do audio. That's fine.
All right, sir. No
So
problem.
that I do not obstruct the
internet.
internet.
No, okay, that's fair enough.
A way to oppress the common man.
We interview with the police or stuff.
Yes, this stems from identifying the fact that there's a leadership happening in our politics.
Get the facts firsthand and exclusive on Lagos Talks 91.3. Join the conversation on the most relevant issues affecting the workplace, as well as the human resource patterns being positioned to solve them on The Office. Get notifications on available job listings and advice on how to apply from featured experts in the industry every Thursday from 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. Only on Lagos Talks 91.3.
Okay, welcome back. You're listening to 91.3. This is Lagos Talks. It is now time for us to segue into The Office, where we talk about HR and workplace issues. Okay, and we know that The Office is a show that is proudly brought to you by the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria, CIPM, and Lagos Talks 91.3. Our topic today is HR strategy and implementation in the workplace. And we have someone, a doctor, as our guest this evening. You get to know him in a bit, but for the next 25 minutes, he'll be here dissecting this issue regarding HR strategy and implementation within the workplace. A quick rundown of who our guest is. He is a seasoned startup business coach, management and HR professional as well. He's a serial entrepreneur with over 20 years of cumulative experience in driving business and workplace productivity. With expertise in business analysis and development, he excels in optimizing organizational performance and efficiency, driving sustainable growth as well, and also delivering exceptional customer satisfaction. As a strategic business leader and banker, he has a proven track record of partnering at all levels and effecting change. He is skilled in championing strategies for business growth and expansion, ensuring operational effectiveness, aggressive sales, marketing activities, and improved client service experience. These are the things he's very much adept in. In the last decade, he has successfully built and grown multiple businesses across various sectors, including management consultancy, microfinance, sales and marketing, agriculture, and social enterprise. Now, these ventures have collectively generated hundreds of millions of naira in revenue, demonstrating his ability to drive legitimate and sustainable business growth. Now, currently, he serves as the MD CEO of NRCS Social Enterprise, where he continues to leverage his expertise to help clients achieve success. Now, over the past 10 years, he has worked with executives from over 40 companies, reviewing systems and processes, identifying areas of improvement, and implementing modifications to drive success. Our guest is packed up. He is indeed loaded, and he is none other than Dr. Emmanuel Bassi, MCIPM, MD CEO, Nigeria Red Cross Social. Good to have you join us, sir. Welcome to the office.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
All right. Okay. Are you still enjoying the midweek holiday?
No, I've been at work. Even yesterday I was at work, so work continues. There's no holiday now.
That's an understanding position from you. I doubt if your human resources within your organization were that understanding regarding the holiday.
No. Actually, holiday is meant for the human resources should do the right thing. For me as a person, of course, you read here that I'm a strategic leader, and holiday has midweek like this. No, it can't be holiday. Even yesterday, I was in the office.
Interesting. Dr. Manuel, good to have you join us this evening on the office. And our topic today...
Thank you so much.
Yes, indeed. Our topic today is about HR strategy and implementation in the workplace. So let's quickly run through our questions. Along the line, we'll also announce a vacancy that we have, okay? But let's push our first question to you. Since we're discussing HR strategy, what is HR strategy, and what approaches are necessary to develop a comprehensive roadmap that addresses an organization's most pressing people-centric challenges?
Okay, thank you so much once again for having me. When we talk about HR strategy generally, the word when you hear strategy is something that is done at a top level. And strategy generally also is being driven by top level leadership. So HR strategy is an organized set of HR methods designed to support high performance work and promote companies' vision, mission, values, and objectives. HR strategy is a plan of aligning human capital investment with business needs. What I'm saying is, it shapes the character and the direction of HR management activities to focus on supporting what the company is trying to accomplish. So in nutshell, one says HR strategy is an adoption of an action plan by an organization which aims at integrating an organizational culture, its employees, and systems by coordinating a set of action to get the required business goal. So it's a holistic that has to do with, okay, this is where the organization wants to go. This is the direction. Then a HR has to come out with a strategy to align. Why? Because most importantly, every business have a reason, have a purpose. So it is the work of a HR to drive strategy that will carry the employee. HR strategy have key components. For example, understanding the mission and the vision statement of the organization, and then HR, then the organizational culture, talent acquisition and recruitment, talent management and development, compensation and benefit, etc. Now, when it comes to approaches to HR, there are no strict way. Means that it's for you to come out with strategy. Strategy is something that evolves over time, and it's something that changes over time. So no organization, for example, have one strategy that all organization follows. There are different approaches that organization can adopt based on what suits that organization. For example, there are different strategic plans that need to be adopted. But before then, you have to understand organization, business strategy, and goal. Then you access the current capability of the HR within the organization, either using SWOT analysis, HR audit, personal analysis, etc. Then you conduct a workforce analysis through maybe productivity, turnover, employee engagement, employee satisfaction. You can move forward and explain the priorities and an objective of HR strategy. It can be different. It depends maybe on the industry, on the organization. Then they create a document, make an action plan design to follow step by step. But most importantly, you need to communicate this plan, create an action plan based on a strategic plan. So
Okay.
there are different stages and approaches. So if I just summarize the approaches, first, understand the organizational objective. It's most important. What is the aim? What is the purpose? What's the mission? Then second, conduct a comprehensive workforce analysis. Then align HR goals with the business goals, because HR is not independent of the organization. Then establish a key performance indicator, integrate talent management as a strategy to run this vision, implement technology solution. Mind you now, what is reigning is technology. Then promote a culture of learning and development, foster a cross-functional collaboration, then regularly adjust, and then maybe by way of monitoring and evaluation,
Okay.
so that you can have feedback, realign, and continue to improve on the processes.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. That's a robust way of looking at it. And it comes across to me as a very, how will I put it now? It's a task that is so holistic that it involves hours of brainstorming. And like you said, not one organization uses one, it's not like a one-size-fits-all situation. The HR team has to map out a bespoke strategy that works best for any given organization.
For the organization, yeah.
Interesting. You're listening to 91.3 Lagos Talks. This is The Office, and we've got limited time with Dr. Emmanuel this evening. But I want to ask Dr. Emmanuel now, how does employee engagement, of course, HR is in charge, very much involved as well in engaging with employees. And then the employees must also put their foot forward and get into the groove. Well, how does employee engagement impact the successful implementation of an HR strategy? And what strategies can be employed to foster a culture of engagement?
Well, thank you so much again. Employee engagement is the degree to which employees are invested in, motivated, and are passionate about the work they do and the company for which they work. So it is the level of enthusiasm, dedication a worker feels towards his job and their company. So the level of mental and emotional commitment an employee has towards their job, the organization and its goal. These are key things that defines employee engagement. There are about 5 different variables that determines how employee engagement as in helping in implementation of strategy. 1, what you call the leadership, that is people. 2, a structure. 3, process. Then process has to do with organizational culture, the policies, and then those things that guide the behavior of the employee. And then information and control system. These are key things. So it's a top priority for example, top management level professionals. Why? Because engaged employees do more for their business. Specifically, an engaged workforce positively impacts the productivity and profitability of an organization, as well as the ability to retain top talent. So employee engagement is key. Engaged employees lead to high profit. Engaged employees are more productive. Engaged employees stick around longer. So in implementation of HR strategy, employees are key. So the easy way is ensure that these employees understand the vision, they understand the strategy, they are well communicated, well motivated, and they are placed as a center in achieving this. And let me say this, when we're talking like this, it's not like a HR department thing. It's the holistic of the whole department, but HR are the one to champion it. Thank you.
The word there is champion, and I'm going to take that away with me today. So what would you say are the common hurdles or obstacles that organizations face when they're trying to implement an HR strategy, and what are the ways one could overcome these obstacles?
Yeah, there are different challenges and there are way out, because as I said, these things are not static, they're dynamic, they are changing over time. But majorly, there are challenges like understanding the vision. A lot of people, you employ staff in your organization, they don't even understand the growth plan of the organization. They don't even understand what the organization is up to in the next 5 years. So understanding the vision is key. Another problem is also finding and attracting top talent. I'm engaging to one of the banks in last 6 months. We couldn't recruit some strategic places, strategic positions. There are no people to fill the position. And if you get those other people that will fill it, the demand and then the compensation is something else. So it's a major problem in achieving that is at finding and attracting top talent. Also, change management and dynamism. Then reskilling and upskilling are also another challenge. Most importantly, also strategic culture fit. A lot of you have a great vision, but you have the people that will fit in align with that culture, balancing L&D without disruption, managing diversity. All these are key. But the center of, as I said earlier, leadership is key. Also, making people feel at home, because we say that work is not where we go, but work is what we do. You don't go to work, but you do. That's what those things that you do. Have people have that sense that, oh, my work is what I do, either at home, anywhere I am. Do I feel it? Do I take the organization at center stage? Do an employee champion the purpose, the product, what the organization stands for? So the first is you have to bring in employees to understand that first, understand where you're going, and make the employees as stakeholders of the business. That is it.
Okay. All right. Let's quickly go on a break. When I come back from this break, I'll quickly announce the vacancy that we have in just a few seconds. So take down a pad, and if you're listening right now and you think someone might fit into this, you need to pay more attention, because I'll go for a break. I'll come back and tell you about the vacancy. You're listening to The Office here on 91.3. This is Lagos Talks. Okay, so we're off air now. So we have about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 or 6 questions left. So we would need it to
we have to summarize it.
Yeah, exactly. So we can
no problem at all.
Breeze through all of them. We need to finish before 5.
No problem at all.
All right, sir. So we're on air now. You're listening to 91.3 Lagos Talks. So quickly, there were 2 vacancies, but you know how things are in Nigeria. These spots get, snapped up before you blink your eye. But there is a vacancy for a dispatch rider. So if you have someone, or you are someone interested in this opportunity, this is going to be something you want to listen to. The location is Ikoyi, Lagos. That is a location. In terms of the package and benefits, the salary is quite competitive. There is an HMO plan attached to the package. There's a health maintenance organization, coverage for yourself and for one dependent, okay? HMO for you and a dependent, one person. And then there's a group life insurance pension plan. So that's pretty much about it. For qualification, if you have, or the person has at least an SSC or OND, they can apply. They must also have a valid rider's permit. A valid rider's permit. Remember, it is a position for a dispatch rider. And if you see all these things as feasible as far as your documents are concerned, you can go ahead and send your resume to hr@megaelectrics.com. hr@megaelectrics.com. Or you can just walk into the building for a chat at number 26, Kefi Street, off Awolowo Road, Ikoyi. Okay, you can walk into number 26, Kefi Street, off Awolowo Road, Ikoyi. So that's about it. Okay, so back to the conversation. You're listening to The Office here on Lagos Talks 91.3. We still have our Dr. Emmanuel Bassi with us this evening. So Doctor, quickly, let's continue with our talk. It's about HR strategy. In case you're just joining us, that is the topic this evening on The Office. I want to know what the role tech has to play in supporting the implementation of HR strategies, and how can HR leaders leverage on technology to drive success?
Thank you again. Technology is key. There's no business today that is not on technology that can survive. So integrating technology into HR strategy is key for streamlining processes and boosting productivity. So leveraging software and digital tools, organizations can automate tasks such as onboarding, payroll, and performance evaluation, freeing time for HR to focus on strategic initiatives. Imagine doing recruitment of 100 people, getting CV of 30,000. You need to automate your processes. And then also learning management. There are a lot of things now that is done online that is assisting HR in achieving its own strategy. And what do? There are a lot of HR softwares there. There are a lot of programs that are online and one you can buy and incorporate into your organization. So technology is key in achieving HR strategy.
Okay, well, let's quickly go on to change. I mean, you mentioned a word some seconds ago about dynamism. That's a way of things, changing and not being static. So, I mean, it's 2024, so many things are changing in the way we work. But how can HR leaders effectively manage organizational change to ensure a seamless implementation of these HR strategies that we've been speaking about for a few minutes now? And what strategies can be employed to build a culture that adapts to any situation?
Well, thank you so much. Strategic decisions often involve organizational changes and transition. And I can tell you HR professionals facilitate change management processes by effectively communicating strategic decisions, managing resistance, for example, providing support to employees during transition. Moreover, HR plays a crucial role in fostering employee engagement, aligning employees' values with organizational strategic direction, and creating a positive work environment conducive for innovation and productivity. So a few challenges that come with this include resistance to change, lack of clear goals, inadequate resources. But I can tell you, change management is key, even though it can be complex. What are the things to employ? Work closely with senior management and department leaders to define a clear goal and objective. Provide training and support to employees while implementing these changes. HR can use metrics such as employee engagement, productivity to assess impact of change and measure its effectiveness. Facilitate constant communication and allow space for feedback through a focus group and survey. This can help you to manage change management that will bring about great strategic HR strategic achieving HR strategic goals.
Okay, you're listening to The Office. In case you're just tuning in, well, you've missed quite a chunk of the conversation, but hey, we've still got some questions to push across to our guest this evening. He is Dr. Emmanuel Bassi, is MCIPM and the MD CEO, Nigeria Red Cross Social. Okay, and we have been speaking or talking about HR strategy and implementation in the workplace. Is someone who has a fair share of experience when it comes to implementation of strategies in organizations. So he's the best person to speak to at this point in time. And we are greatly blessed to have him this evening on The Office. Let's push across our next question to our guest. Let's talk about the role of leadership in the development, implementation, and ongoing support of HR strategies. And I mean, how can leaders champion HR initiatives? What is like a blueprint or like a textbook to that? Or is there even a textbook to it?
Thank you. Actually, there's no change or there's no strategy that is not driven by leadership. A strong leadership team is essential for driving strategic initiatives. HR plays a very vital role in identifying high potential employees, implementing leadership development programs, and nurturing the future leaders. By focusing on leadership development, HR ensures a pipeline of capable individuals who can effectively execute this company's strategic vision. So number one, and then very key, is the leaders have to live by examples. The leaders have to show the way. The leaders has to act the way, and the leaders has to also be the way. And that is how this can be carried out. So leader is at the center of it. And HR is key because HR is the strategic department that build leaders, that do the talent management and the focus of HR strategy is centered on the leadership. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So what would you say are processes and metrics? You spoke about metrics a while ago.
Yes. Yes.
What
Yes.
processes and metrics should be in place to ensure, a continuous improvement and evaluation of HR strategies? And how can HR leaders drive data-driven decision making, basically?
Well, as I said earlier, any organization to succeed depends on the structure, depends on the process, and then the people. But what process should be in place to ensure continuous improvement of HR strategy? The core is talent acquisition, talent management, employee retention, workforce development, and some legal compliances. So align HR goal with strategic business goal, prioritize your resources to drive the biggest impact, prepare the workforce to changing business model needs, contribute to cost saving and efficiency, and proactively manage talent risk. These are simple processes that when the organization put in place, there will be great improvement.
I mean, the question coming to my head is how much Nigerian organizations even doing this, but I'll allow you cook that for us and deliver to us in a few seconds. Let's talk about cross-functional collaboration now. You said it was the HR department, the others involved, as well as a holistic approach to fighting these things and putting them together. But why is cross-functional collaboration essential for the successful implementation of HR strategies, and how can HR leaders foster, partnerships, perhaps across organizations or even within the organization across departments?
Yeah, thank you. HR alone is not an organization. HR has other departments. So HR live for other departments. So cross-functional collaboration allows employees to benefit from shared insight and feedback on their work. Employees with different background and experiences offer new ideas to help each other get on stock and find better ways of working. So cross-functional collaboration occur in a different way. For example, working with finance, working with marketing, working with sales and development, customer service. All these are team. Mind you, team together each achieve more. And all of these things, HR is to coordinate. So cross-functional department, HR is key in coordination. It improves operational efficiency, it fosters diverse thinking, it facilitates knowledge sharing, it increases innovation and creativity, it builds more connected team. So it's key that HR should work across board. And HR should not feel better, neither should they feel less. But they are very key and strategic partner in cross-functional collaboration.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much. And this is where we'll draw the curtains. But I'd love to know what your parting gift to our listeners would be, key takeaways that we can listen to or take home with us regarding the developments, implementation and ongoing success of HR strategies and, even just driving organizational excellence. What would you give us as your parting gift this evening to wrap up the conversation?
Okay, so I believe this is a program for a lot of HR professional listening. So let me speak to HR. Human resources is far more than just an administrative task and compliance. It is a strategic partner that contributes significantly to an organizational success. So HR involvement in strategic decision making ensure that the company's human capital is effectively aligned with its long-term goals, from talent acquisition and development to change management to performance evaluation to HR professional provide valuable expertise that enhances the overall effectiveness of the strategic decision. So by recognizing the importance of HR in strategic decision, companies can leverage their human capital to achieve sustainable growth and competitive advantage in today's business landscape. HR strategy must relate to all parts of the business. It starts with listening to customers' needs. On that basis, it designs organization, internal processes, and impactful communication plan that align with and support short as well as long-term company goals. So only in doing so does HR create the condition that enable business and its people to be successful. And on a last note, even though it's called a HR strategy, it does not mean the content of that strategy should ever be developed through the lens of HR alone. And HR strategy impact every part of organization, So it is only makes sense and that testing, it only makes sense that testing it with key stakeholders, with key other departments in a collaborative way needs to be part and parcel of the process. I thank you so much and for this opportunity. I look forward to speak more on this matter. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Emmanuel Bassi. It's a very great one that we had today. Thank you so much indeed for your time. Dr. Emmanuel Bassi is MCIPM and MD CEO, Nigeria Red Cross Social. It's been a pleasure speaking to you this evening, and hopefully
Thank you so much.
Evening. All right. Okay, so that's about it. And the office, of course, you know, it is proudly brought to you by the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria, CIPM, and Lagos Talks 91.3. My name is Kolawole Falodu. Put it together, that's my handle on social media and even on LinkedIn. Okay, so we can connect there. That's the language for shows like this. Okay, so up next is Critical Thinking on 91.3. All right, Dr. Bassi, thank you so much again.
Sense of variety. So with us, you don't get a straight jacket program lineup. We offer you an array of top-notch programs to spice up your experience on your drive from work. From business to politics, comedy to sports, we've got it all on the live drive with Kolawole. The conversation never stops on Lagos Talks 91.3. Don't forget to join Kolawole every weekday from 4 to 9 p.m. on the live drive and join the conversation only on Lagos Talks 91.3. The British people declaration war on the corrupt, self-serving war politicians